Hello and welcome to today's February 17th Daily News Report. If you're a subscribed member of my community, then welcome back. You watch this channel each day because I keep you in the loop on what's really going on in Washington, D.C. with President Biden and the U.S. economy, so let's jump right into the news. Today's broadcast is brought to you by HelloFresh, and I'll tell you more about them later in today's video. President Biden tweeted, "We're making Buy American a reality, not just a promise," to which Tesla founder Elon Musk replied, "The Tesla Model 3 is the most American-made car in the country." President Biden has routinely ignored the billions of dollars Tesla has pumped into the U.S. economy with car factories, battery factories, and solar panel factories. President Biden favors unions over free markets, so he only ever praises Ford or General Motors, and Tesla decided to remind him of their American purchasing contributions. Yesterday was supposed to be the day Russia invaded Ukraine. Well, it didn't happen, and both Ukraine and Russia took the opportunity to mock President Biden, the U.S. media news outlets, and the United States. However, President Biden said Putin didn't make his move because of his stern talks with him and the fact that the U.S. revealed the attack date. According to President Biden, Russia will attack in the next few days, and the U.S. is ready to retaliate. The Pentagon is now saying Russia increased their military on the Ukraine border from 100,000 soldiers to over 150,000 soldiers in just the last few days. The Kremlin continues to say this is the U.S. trying to provoke fear, but I guess we will know if Biden is right in the next few days. This story remains heated and ongoing, and I'll continue to keep you in the loop because according to President Biden, it could affect your wallet and the price of gas if they start a battle between Russia and Ukraine. The federal government is expected to run out of money Friday night at midnight, and they still don't have a bill completed or a scheduled time to vote. Here's where both parties are holding this up. Democrats have had over 90 days to work on a bill to fund the government for the entire year. They made almost no progress and now want to do a continuing resolution temporary stopgap bill. Republicans say they don't want to support the use of continuing resolution bills because it gives them no time to read the bill before voting. Extra money from pet projects gets slipped in, and it leaves the American people uneasy about their finances every 90 days. Also, there are several Republican senators saying they won't vote unless all the funding for the vaccine mandates is recalled and repurposed. They say that money should now be spent on improving other areas of the country based on the numbers. It's not expected that the U.S. government will shut down, but as of right now, it looks like they are going to have a vote just before midnight tomorrow night. And right now, Schumer doesn't have the numbers. In fact, at this point, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said he might have to push for an even smaller stopgap bill to fund the U.S. government through March 11th to buy him more time for negotiations. Now, I have a lot more to tell you about President Biden, the U.S. economy, and stimulus, but let me take just 1 minute to tell you about today's video sponsor. I want to thank today's video sponsor, HelloFresh. With HelloFresh, you get fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Casey and I use HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why they're America's #1 meal kit. Casey and I are big believers in having family dinner as often as we can. We use it as a chance to sit down with our kids over a delicious meal and reconnect as a couple while we cook together. Recently, Casey and I cooked a beautiful from-scratch biscuit pot pie to take to her brother's house for the Super Bowl. While others brought chips and dip, we showed up with what guests believed was a high-end French meal from a restaurant. So go to HelloFresh.com and use code Stephen16 to get 16 free meals and 3 surprise gifts. That's right, HelloFresh is going to give new customers 16 free meals and 3 surprise gifts to try them out for becoming a new customer. You're going to love the food. It's super delicious. All right, now let's get back to today's news update. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez blamed President Biden for the state of the economy. She said he has the full power of the United States government under his party's control, and what is he doing with it? He has executive order power and authority, and what is he doing with it? She said the president has become afraid of Senator Joe Manchin and Senator Kristen Sinema, and so he isn't acting like a president. She urged President Biden to use his executive authority to ram through more changes that benefit the American people. She said the president needs to do more forms of stimulus. She pointed out he hasn't really done much to help the people or Democrat voters in about a year. She said Biden needs to make good on his promises and improve people's lives. Some of his promises were to forgive $10,000 of student loan debt. He promised a $2,000 stimulus check and then only did a $1,400 stimulus check. He promised 5 years of child tax credit monthly checks and then only did 6 months worth. He promised people on Social Security, SSI, and disability a $200 a month increase and has not made good on that campaign promise. Ms. Cortez said many of these should be looked at with executive authority to take back his power and keep his promises. She also said that he should use his executive authority to make pre-kindergarten free and community college free. She said it's entirely within his power. This really isn't a conversation about providing relief to a small niche group of people. It's very much a keystone action politically. I think it's a keystone action economically as well. Earlier today, President Biden committed $1 billion to clean up the Great Lakes and will travel to the state of Ohio, an election swing state, to share this good news. A new study released today showed the United States could be in trouble now and over the next decade. Over 70% of millennials are living paycheck to paycheck. This means they aren't prepared to purchase the housing held by most baby boomers when they start downsizing. With housing prices and rent out of control, many in all age groups are finding nearly 50% of their income goes right to high rent and high mortgage payments. Real estate makes up a huge chunk of the U.S. GDP, and the next generation doesn't have the financial resources to take it over. A former Obama Treasury official said much of Americans' financial issues are Joe Biden's problem. He said the president is being simplistic and misleading by blaming everything on COVID. He said it's an easy out, but it's a lie. He said, yes, there was a supply chain slowdown, but not a cutoff. Yes, there was a worker shortage, but not a worker cutoff. Obama's former aide said it's time for Biden to take responsibility and put more focus on bringing down inflation. I'm curious to know from my community, do you think President Biden has given inflation the proper amount of attention? Or has he ignored it and blamed it on COVID? Let me know your thoughts down below. Maybe just say he's ignored inflation or he's given inflation proper attention. Inflation remains the number one concern for most Americans as we head into the 2022 elections. A new poll showed 66% of Americans want President Joe Biden to take a mental fitness test to prove he is capable of running the country. The slow response to questions, forgetting his train of thought during questioning, and the retelling of old stories that then prove to be half-truths over and over again have the American people worried. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau continues to increase his harassment on Canadian truckers. He has ordered the names of all protesters identified to be turned over to Canadian banks to have their assets frozen. Trudeau has also ordered the police to start clearing all protest areas by arresting anyone left at the scene, whether they are peaceful or not. He is done with the protests and the embarrassment these truckers and their followers have brought on Canada. However, many say it's you, Trudeau, who has embarrassed the country. Trudeau is also asking for the names of anyone that donated to the Canadian trucker convoy to be made public so they can be shamed and their bank accounts frozen as well. Trudeau's justice minister also specifically said any donator connected to being pro-Trump will be dealt with the harshest. He then said these truckers ought to lose their jobs and their licenses to drive. Wow. These political leaders really hate their own citizens with differing opinions. Yikes. Lastly, based on an interview from the Federal Reserve, it appears the Fed is more and more open to tanking the stock market and the major indexes in order to bring down inflation. If they push this way, don't be surprised if gold stocks, and gold mining stocks see a big surge as trillions of US dollars will be fleeing the stock market for safety. Tech stocks like Facebook, Apple, Netflix, Nvidia, and Amazon could be hit the hardest since they are the ones carrying most of the most popular indexes and individual stock holdings. The Fed's plan to make their first big move will happen sometime in the month of March. By the way, thank you guys so much for tapping that like button. I really appreciate it. It's hours and hours of research, but I just love bringing you guys the news. Now, this is my update for today. As I know more, I will definitely come on and share more with you. Before you go, make sure to get your name added to the giveaway that Casey and I are doing. We're giving away a total of $5,000. 10 people are going to win $500 in cash, and you can spend it however you want, and I'll make sure to leave a link below. Also, make sure to check out HelloFresh. Their food's amazing, and it's very, very convenient, and you waste almost none of it, which is awesome. Now, before you go, I just want to remind you that you are amazing. I really, really appreciate you being in my community, and I'll see you on the next video.